G'day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video, and in this video we are going to take a look at one of the new Giant Ape EZAs for the Kid Goku or the Goku Youth Giant Ape unit. So this is a physical unit. It pretty much got a pretty nice EZA overall. We obviously got a new leader skill, which is 77%, well 70% for all types, and we got attack and defense raising on the super attack. In terms of passive, we have attack and defense of 80% at the start of turn, plus an additional attack and defense of 80% when performing a super attack. We also have an additional ability to fire an additional super attack whilst under 80%, and we have a chance, which is roughly 20 to 30%, to turn into a Great Ape twice per combat. Overall, pretty helpful. A Great Ape transformation does allow a unit to obviously not take any damage, to perform some free super attacks. In terms of build, you're probably going to want to be crit with maybe a little bit more in additional. I would probably go for full crit on the hidden potential system and then move somewhere off to splitting additional and crit in the equipment. In terms of links, we have Kamehameha, the Innocence, Guidance of the Dragon Balls, the Incredible Adventure, Saiyan Raw, and of course we have Transform and Shattering the Limit. A pretty strange / unique link set. Can kind of link okay with other giant ape form units to a certain extent, and can link somewhat okay to a DB Saga Goku Youth. Basically, he's like a hybrid between the two. Because of that, the best teams to run him on will probably be Giant Ape Power, Giant Form, DB Saga, and Dragon Ball Seekers. So with that being said, Goku looks pretty good. Obviously mine is 100%, but any team you can run him on with a Youth Goku, he should be fine. Incredible Adventure and Guidance of the Dragon Balls are two incredibly strong links that are worth the sacrifice of Saiyan Raw. And similarly on the Giant Form category team, Saiyan Raw is very much worth the sacrifice of Incredible Adventure and Guidance of the Dragon Balls. So realistically, you kind of want to either have Shattering the Limit and Saiyan Raw, or you want to have Guidance of the Dragon Balls and the Incredible Adventure. Kamehameha is really just a bonus, and pretty much everything from there is just depending on what you can get. So that being said, this first battle here, we're going to rock Goku alongside the Giant Ape Power team. Obviously this is led by SS4 Gogeta. Goku is a giant form unit, and I do think he is a buff for the giant form category to allow them to perform for ESBRs and things like that. I gotta be honest, I just think in general that Goku himself is pretty good. I would say all three are pretty good, but I would say Goku probably looks the best just because of his strength and long form events, which obviously does help the Giant Ape category when it is taking on the LGEGT. That being said, Goku, obviously being a unit that generates attack and defense upon supering, does benefit from having support quite severely. It will augment his defense and his attack stats, so just something to be aware of. But yeah, honestly, Goku is pretty good. I'm really happy that they did these kind of EZAs. I do think these kind of EZAs are good every now and then, or EZA areas, ones that just augment a select batch of units from a category, really do help out with improving the performance of that category. And I think Giant Ape Power, and more specifically Giant Form, needs this, especially if you don't have some of the SS4 units from the Heroes banners. You probably are struggling for good Giant Ape Power units that aren't Goku and Vegeta, for example, SS4 Goku and Vegeta. So we have here Goku. He is currently in between Vegeta SS4 and SS4 Gogeta. Doesn't really have that many links active at this current point in time, so we are just going to get a pretty good look at how he fires off an attack and everything like that. Again, Goku's defense looks pretty solid. Remember, he'll stack attack and defense permanently upon super attack, and when you're below 80%, he does have that chance to fire off an additional super attack, so that is always helpful. So we should be able to see that go off, so that'll be pretty good. Overall, Of course, I do think that Goku is the best, I would say, out of all of them. I don't have Vegeta, so but based on what I've seen, I would say Goku is likely the best. And he's got a nice enough link set that he can work with DB Saga units, and he can work with, you know, multiple other units as well. So DB Saga, he links decently with the strength Raditz from the EZA as well. So pretty much a solid unit across the board. Obviously, nice to have a new Goku Youth, just someone to help fill in a slot on a DB Saga team. And it's always good to see units strengthening that category. So we'll finally be able to see Goku here with a bit of support and a bit more links. He's obviously now fully connected with this Goku, and he's getting Saiyan Raw from the Vegeta. So a really solid link now for links as well, and he should get Kamehameha when he finishes his ki. So we've got 100k defense. Remember, that will go up upon supering as well, quite significantly, because he gains that additional 80% attack and defense. So really solid there. In terms of this Goku, a little bit outdated now, but still very good. Defensively gets better as you lose health and gets stronger each turn. Could do with something like a guard mechanism, or maybe even just adding in an EZA that gives him a DB Saga support mechanism. Like, that would generally just make him instantly viable again. Because yeah, I think he's still very solid, and does really well. Plus the link set for DB Saga units is always pretty good with incredible adventure and guidance of the Dragon Balls. And we can see here a really nice attack stat, 3.1 million, really good. Yeah, nothing really too much to say there. Beyond that attack stat, really impressive. Defense would have been sitting probably at around 160-ish or so, about 160, 165, I want to say. Obviously stacking and everything on top of that. So Goku, really solid defensively. That's realistically his second turn out as well. So overall, super solid unit, really impressive performance. And yeah, really happy with that display right there. So Giant Ape Power, really good team for him. That Int Goku, really good linking partner for him, 4 links. So really nice pairing that they have there. And if you can get him a Saiyan Raw, you're getting 2 very big links. You're literally getting the Guidance of the Dragon Balls, you're getting Incredible Adventure, and you're getting Saiyan Raw, which are like huge links. So really impressive from that aspect. And Goku's a unit that will get a lot better with link leveling, especially defensively. He's got a couple links that give him additional defense, but he also does still gain more attack. So definitely a really nice unit from that perspective. So next we'll try him out on a pure Saiyans team. Probably another easy-ish team to kind of get his links all together, which obviously does help out. You know, having plenty of options. The Int Kid Goku, you've got a couple of giant form units you can throw on there to activate Saiyan Raw, the SS4 units. So pure Saiyan's a relatively easy team to maximize his potential. Unfortunately, you're not going to really manage to do that here, just because we are essentially going to get his giant form for a vast portion of the latter stages of the fight. So that is just something we are going to see. It's one of those things. It's a perk of the card, as much as for showcases it may seem like it's not a perk because you're not going to see the biggest attack stat. Having a unit have the ability to not take damage for a turn and to dish out damage is always valuable. It doesn't matter when it occurs. Being able to take free turns for the most part is always going to be super valuable, especially in any event where they have a mono-typing advantage. One of the big benefits, obviously here we can see Goku with 77,000k defense, not the highest, remember it will go up quite a bit once he super attacks. And also obviously Goku will generate a somewhat okay attack stat here, 1.7, 1.8. Not bad. No real big links activated, in fact none at all. So yeah, realistically quite good. From Goku's perspective, like I said, nice thing is with his giant form he does have ki +2. So instead of most giant forms where you need 6 ki to fire off a super attack, he actually only needs 4 ki. So that's a nice little added benefit to Goku. Makes that giant form a little bit more viable from a damage perspective. Obviously, most times giant forms are just kind of there to take the turn, but when the giant form can dish out a couple super attacks, that does always help. Maybe it'll clean up an enemy, maybe it'll just get some damage in. It always makes it worth it when you can do that. So I do think that, you know, considering everything going on with Goku, considering the way he's built, considering how much he benefits from support, I think overall he's a very good unit. I think you should be very happy if you have Goku, and I think he's a very nice, solid unit to use for the Goku or the LGEGT, but pretty much for any event where you can probably use Goku as a physical pure Saiyan. He is going to be a unit that excels in the second slot due to the fact that he gains so much defense upon supering, and that is just something that's not going to change. So he maybe later on in events, once he's stacked so much defense, he will be super exceptional in the first slot, but honestly speaking, he is a second slot unit. Not a bad thing, definitely. He 100% is still very, very good. Being a designated second or third slot unit is never a bad thing. Obviously, people prefer it when they can stick units wherever, because that means that they can just maximize on putting that unit wherever they want, and they don't have to think so much or care so much. So he does obviously not have that, and he will benefit mainly from being in that second slot, but it's never really a crime. I always think it's more than fine. It's just one of those things. So yeah, realistically, super happy with Goku, very impressed with his performance overall. Reliable unit, a useful unit, expands the giant ape power category, expands the giant form category, immediately becomes one of the best giant form category units, just right off the bat. Like, before we even get into anything, he is immediately one of the best giant form category units. So yeah, really impressed from that aspect, and just really solid, like no issues with him. Really nice addition to the game. Just obviously maybe not as spectacular as people like their EZAs to be nowadays, but I don't think every EZA has to make a unit borderline top 10 unit in the game. I think it's just naturally good when they augment these units and bring them more up to speed, and Goku's definitely way more up to speed with the meta. You can see, like with his giant form here, we've been getting very, very solid attacks in, we've been getting a lot of attacks in, everything's been going fine. So for me, overall, super happy with Goku's EZA, and I think a well worth it unit. So if you have him, make sure you EZA him. He's going to help out your teams, he's going to help out your box, he's going to help you in a lot of specific niche category challenges like Giant Ape Power, like Giant Form SBR, Giant Form ESBR, etc, etc. So Goku, super duper awesome, very happy to have him added into the game. And yeah, like I said, it's always nice to get these nice big damage bonuses out of units. As you can see here, Goku getting some really good damage in. So we'll have him here. Unfortunately, not that many links activated. We're up to 93,000 defense. So you can see that stacking come into play very, very nicely. We are also getting an attack boost from Turles. So we have a nice little representation of Goku here, 2.2 million. Remember, no big links activated at all there. So yeah, really nice little upbeat from Goku. Nothing as crazy as the first display on Giant Ape Power, but we're very, very good with links and supports there. Whereas here we've seen more of, not a worst case scenario, but we've seen more of a what you might see before you set up Goku type of thing. And I think that's also fine. You know, 1.8 million, 2.2 million. Remember, his defense looks like 80k and 93k, but in reality, just remember that it is going to augment quite heavily once he fires that super attack. So yeah, overall, very, very, very happy with Goku. Now all that's left is for us to take a look at his links and get a good idea of who links really well with him. So obviously there's kind of two ways we can go with this. You've got the Dragon Ball Saga kind of link set that we spoke about earlier, or you've got the Great Ape Power type of link set that we spoke about as well. Saiyan Raw being the predominant link amongst that. You're going to want to get that straight away. You're also going to probably want something like Shattering the Limit, as that's really going to help you out, as that's his only real key link that is not essentially related to the DB saga. You're also probably going to want to get Transform, as that's his alternative key link if you do not have Shattering the Limit. So it's just going to depend on what you've got at the time and what you can kind of wean out here. But these are his best options here. These units all have Shattering the Limit and Saiyan Raw. Not too many great ones, but that Strength Raditz that also got his EZA is at least a nice newly updated partner for him. This free-to-play Bardock is also a decent option. They share 3 links and he's a solid option, as well as the GT Vegeta. So there are some free-to-play options if you're looking to just get a running partner for little Goku here. So yeah, if you're just looking for a new running partner, if you're just looking for something like that, you are welcome to grab those 2 free-to-play units and it will help you out. Guidance of the Dragon Balls, the Incredible Adventure, those are the DB Saga orientated units. So yeah, you can definitely benefit from those. There are some super powerful links, and you can see here that we have quite a few options. Obviously we looked at the Int Goku during the showcase. He shares 4 links with him: Kamehameha, Incredible Adventure, Guidance of the Dragon Balls. So yeah, they do share some really solid links there. You can see right there, good old Goku sharing some decent links with him. And then if you just have a floating Saiyan Raw character, you can probably get a lot out of Goku compared to pretty much any other scenario. That's why teams like Giant Ape Power and Pure Saiyans are going to be the best to rock Goku on, because you can activate all these links just by pairing them with Int Goku and having a floating Saiyan Raw character. But if you do not have Int Goku and you are looking to run him on a DB Saga team or a Dragon Ball Seekers team, you can run him with any of these units. You've got the Chi-Chi, who obviously gains a nice defensive buff when she's with Goku, as a very solid option, and you could probably run him alongside the free-to-play Goku and Arale LR. They are still a very decent card, not as strong as they used to be, but they are still a very fun card to use, and they will be very good alongside Goku. But that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. But until then, bye!